The reality is, most men today weren't taught how to be leaders. They were taught how to either blend in and disappear or be the boss and dominate. But true masculine leadership isn't about control. It's not about being the boss, it's about stability. It's about being grounded. But before you can provide stability for a woman or for some kids or for society, you gotta ground yourself. You gotta provide stability for yourself. So in this video, we're gonna break down what masculinity really is. Where is it going wrong? Where are people misinterpreting? And how can we apply it to ourselves? How can we actually become true masculine leaders and embody our masculine energy? Because everybody keeps talking about feminine energy, but a man needs to master his masculine energy as well. So we're gonna break that down, and then I'm gonna give you 4 ways, 4 key steps to walking in your masculine energy. Because we know knowledge doesn't become wisdom until it meets practical application. So in order to understand what masculinity really is, we must first understand what masculinity is not. Because the problem today is everybody who's talking about masculine energy, they're not talking about one thing. They're not talking about balance. A lot of the men today have no balance. You're either emotionally stunted and not capable of expressing yourself, not capable of being vulnerable, or you're too soft and you're too passive. And you just do, because the world does reward hyperfeminism, hyperfemininity, and everyone's talking about living in your feminine energy. And before you can understand that, because that is very important to understand and to embody and to gain a true balance. But before you can understand that, you got to understand your masculine energy. That's what you got most of, and that's what you have to channel. Because the world they praise feminine energy, but they don't praise masculine energy. What does that look like? Discipline, order, structure. Nobody's telling us that, because the father's not in the home. And I almost said black father, but it extends beyond black people. Now we know a lot of the black fathers have fallen victim to mass incarceration and just victim to the system. But not being home isn't just a physical thing. The Bible tells us a lot of fathers aren't home emotionally. If you're not there emotionally, it doesn't matter if you're raising the kids. Because Timothy chapter 3 verse 4 and 5 tells us that a man must manage his household and his children. Everyone talks about feminine energy. You can't ask for a woman to live in her feminine energy if you don't know how to master her. You haven't mastered yourself. You can't master the household. You can't master the kids, but you expect her to do something for you. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23 tells us that the man is the head of the wife. Not a head, but the head. Meaning he does the thinking, he does the providing, he does the visionary. He's the visionary. He provides the vision, and then she brings it to fruition. Anything you give a woman, she will multiply, but you have to give her something. So a lot of men are going wrong because we're listening to these red pill niggas, and nobody's talking about what it really means to be a masculine leader. To be masculine does not mean to be loud. Yes, there are a lot of loud masculine men, a lot of brothers who present themselves in different ways, but you don't have to be loud to be masculine. What you have to be is stable. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. That's the most masculine thing you can be. And that's how you become a leader. Because a masculine leader is rooted in clarity, direction, and vision. Those are the top 3 traits of being masculine. You have to be clear. You have to be clear-minded. You have to be objective. The woman or the subconscious is the subjective. The man or the conscious is the objective. Meaning you have to be objective. You have to be clear. You can't let your emotions dictate your decisions. That's not your role in life. That's not what you were put here to do. You were put here to observe decisions. Women were put here to think through decisions. That's why there's a balance. That's why there's a such thing as masculine and feminine. But too many of us are raised in matriarchal households, like I said, the father's not there emotionally or physically. So now we're so stuck. We have no clarity because we're letting our emotions affect our decisions. And if you have emotional decisions, you have no true direction. You have no direction, you have no plan. And you have no plan, you have no vision. Because if you have no direction, you don't know where you're going, you can't see the path to get there. A masculine leader has the ability to lead over women, lead over kids, and lead society. You become a true thinker, a true leader. But a woman does not need control to follow you. She doesn't need control. She needs to be able to feel relaxed. She needs to be able to feel that this man has direction, he has a vision, I can trust it, and how can I support him? How can I provide to it? But too many of us are thinking that we have to control our women instead of letting our women help us. A woman doesn't need control, she needs stability, she needs to be able to relax. Kids, for example, don't need to be dominated. They don't need to be beaten to submission. They don't need that. They need to see structure and consistency in the home. Because a kid will follow structure and consistency way sooner than he'll learn from an ass whooping. You asking me, I've been, my mama know I was a class clown forever. I was bad forever. Because a whooping ain't gonna get it done. You need to see construction. You need to see structure and consistency. So once a kid sees that, the kid will follow because that's what kids do. They learn from you. And just like society don't need to see you talking all this red pill macho shit. Society doesn't need that, bro. They just need to see you walking what you're talking. And you'll become the best leader. Even if you're not trying to create content, you can lead, you can impact society, impact your community, impact your neighborhood at a micro level. All they need to see is you walking what you're talking. I tell this story all the time. Well, only to a few people actually, but I told the story a few times where when I started making these videos, I was first making them on TikTok, just making quick clips. But I was thinking maybe I should like put more of my opinions on this whiteboard. And I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if I want to do it. And then one of the kids in my neighborhood, he met me a couple days before that. He met my dog, and my dog was big, he was scared, I let him pet the dog. I'm not thinking nothing of it, but I see him a couple days later, he's screaming, Caleb, where the dog at? What you doing, man? Where the dog at? So I go over to talk to him. Next thing I know, we talking, we take him to the basketball court, and we exchanging TikToks. The whole point of this is, he tells me the next day, he watched my TikToks with his mom. They went over all the videos. He told me his mom said that I'm a great leader and a great black man and he just needs to be listening to me. So you never know who you can impact just by walking what you're talking. I can't be over here talking all this community, all this uplifting, and then when the kids come see me outside, I don't take them to the basketball court. But when you walking at what you're talking, it has a much bigger impact than you just posting some lies or pushing something that you don't really believe. So the best leader is a walking example. So how can we be an example? Because like I said, I'm gonna tell you all this knowledge, but until I give you the practical application, it's not wisdom. So here are 4 ways that you can actually become a masculine leader. And if you're watching my videos, I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but you need to practice stillness. I'm not going to stop saying it. You need to meditate. You need to find time every morning and every night and whenever you can to just be still. Even if it's for 5 minutes. Close your eyes, don't move, don't listen to no music. Just be still and lock in with yourself. Because what meditating does, it enables you to have a clear mind. It enables you to go through your thoughts and just observe them and see what am I thinking about? What am I thinking? Do I have a vision? We're going to get to that, of course, but if you don't have a vision, meditating ain't no point. But you need to meditate in order to find a vision. It's kind of like a chicken and the egg situation. When you meditate, you allow God to speak directly through you, to you and through you. And the second step to becoming a masculine leader is having structure, having a plan for your life, but not just for your life, also a plan for your day. A lot of us, we have no planner. You call yourself a black man, you call yourself a leader, a man, you have no planner. You just live every day like it's a video game. You don't know what's happening next, you're just gonna go out and see. But imagine the dudes, the 1%, 5% who attack every day with the plan. They know today is editing day. Today is posting day. Today is clipping day. Today is, or whatever. If you're starting a business, today is marketing day. Today is outreach day. Today is cold calling day. But whatever it is, you have a plan for that day. A lot of us, we have no plan for the day, so whatever happens, happens. And when you have no plan, you have no intention. Whether it's a 5-year plan or a 1-month plan, if you don't have any goals, you don't have direction, you don't have vision, you don't have intention. So every time you go out into the day, instead of having intention, you have reaction. Where you react to the world can sway you to do this, go here, do that. But if you have a plan, you know, I don't really got time to be hooping with y'all today. I gotta go record this video. Or I actually gotta do this. But you have a plan. If you have no plan, you just at whim. And to those, I almost forgot, to those who don't really understand the importance of meditation, just think of Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. Not saying be still and know that you are the creator of heaven and earth. I'm not telling you that. But be still and know that, like I told you in Timothy, in Ephesians, you are the head of the household. So you need a clear mind. If you don't have a clear mind, the family don't have a clear vision. If you don't know where you're going, the family don't know where they're going because they're following you. So you need to have a clear mind. And then you need to have a structured plan, because the Bible tells us in James chapter 1, verse 8, if you don't have a plan, you're double-minded. Meaning you got one idea of what you want to accomplish, and then you got another idea of what the world's telling you to do today. And if the world's telling you to go here, 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 and you're feeding yourself constant stimulus, you never have time to create. You never get to live in that other mind because you're double-minded. But when you can align your plans with your actions, and align your actions with your beliefs, and align your beliefs with your mood, your consistent mindset, then you become able to do the third thing in the plan, which is make decisions. Any strong, good, masculine leader has to be able to make decisions. But in order to make decisions on a macro level, you have to first make them on a micro level. If your girl's asking you what she want to eat every day, it's not because she can't think and she just needs you to feed her, but it's just a way of women, whether they know it or not, they give you an opportunity to be a man. They say, make a decision for me. And a lot of times you'll say what you want to eat, and she'll go out and get it, and she'll cook it. But all you had to do is say it. But a lot of us, we don't practice making decisions at a micro level. We don't practice having a plan for what our day is going to look like. So when something comes up, we don't make a decision. The decision makes us. So when something comes up, we're swayed by life. We're double-minded in all our ways. He who has no faith is like the surf of the sea. He's tossed and turned by the wind. If you don't got no plan, you can't have faith in it. If you don't have no faith, you toss and turn by the sea. And the fourth step, because that was just a small example of if you have a girlfriend. But a lot of you niggas don't need a girlfriend. I'm going to just be real with you. What you need is accountability. Too many of us, me included at a point in time, were seeking validation instead of accountability. So I'm looking for a woman, or I'm looking for my homeboys to tell me, hey man, you cool, you did this right. Or to call my mom, she said, yeah, you did this right. Instead of seeking accountability, seeking other strong black men, strong leaders who I can count on to be thinking in this positive mindset. So when I go and ask them for something, I know where their advice is coming from. A lot of us are seeking validation instead of seeking accountability. You need to build a network of like-minded men, of like-minded thinkers, of like-minded thought leaders who want to be exactly what you want to be, or want to go exactly where you want to go. And then you seek accountability instead of seeking validation. We're seeking cop-outs. We're seeking comfort instead of seeking accountability. Because accountability will directly lead to either you being a part of the group or you not being a part of the group. Because I know my friend group, for example, you can't have kids and not take care of them and be my friend. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I got a lot of friends with kids, but if I heard any of them was not taking care of their kids, they'll never hear from me again. Because it's accountability of, this is what I pride myself on. These are my principles as a man. If you don't agree with that, you don't align with me. So you need to seek accountability. Find like-minded thinkers. And then I'll leave you with this. Masculine leadership, or leadership at all, even if you're a woman, it does not begin when other people start to follow you. It begins when you start to lead yourself. Because when you become that walking example, and you're not just a talking head, another talking figure out here, people will naturally fall in line. People will gravitate towards you and ask you to lead when you weren't even trying to.